Firefox. It's just what I prefer, but you could also use Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or Safari if you're running a Mac. Really doesn't matter what you use there. But either way, what you're going to do is right up top, type in the location of where you have that software installed. That can be installed on servers on your end, or we could web host it for you. Really doesn't matter either way. Once you type that in or had a bookmark or shortcut take you there, it pulls open this little login screen. And from the login screen, there are a couple options we can give you to have employees access the software. Now, the first option I'll show you is what we call our net clock, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a network-based or internet-based time clock where you can actually have an employee walk up to a computer with this pulled up on it, type in a number that you assign to them, and pull up some of their information there, and then all they need to do is hit accept, and they'd be punched in. Very, very simple on that. Then ready for the next person to go ahead and put their number in and hit accept. You'll notice right up top here the time and date. We're actually pulling that direct from the server where the software is installed. So there's no way for the employees to go in there and change or edit or adjust things. Again, it's all locked in on that. But again, this is a pretty simple network-based or internet-based time clock where you just have them type in a PIN number, hit accept, and they're punched in. Very, very simple there. Now, there is another option you can allow for employees to use to punch in, punch out, or enter their time. It's what we call our employee self-service option. With this, rather than having one general login for everyone, what you do is you give each employee their own individual username and password. Once they type that username and password in there, what it's going to do is open up a time card where we can actually have the employees see where all their punches would go through the pay period and where all their hours would accumulate. You see a schedule if you're scheduling the employee. There's even a little verification section here at the bottom where we can actually go in and have them electronically verify or put an electronic signature on their time card. But for an employee to punch in or out from this, it's pretty simple. All we need to do is have the in or out button here in the top right-hand side. Once they do that, it's actually going to pull open this section here where you'll see the punch time and date pulled up, and you'll notice it's all grayed out there. And it's all grayed out because as a default, we are not giving them any editing rights. Now, if you wanted to, you could, if you choose, give your employees editing rights to go in there, adjust or change their time card. Most people will choose not to for obvious reasons there. But once that's been pulled up, all we need to do is hit create. And as soon as we hit create, what it's going to do is it's going to drop that punch in on the time card. And you'll notice, again here, it's all locked in. There's no editing or ability to change anything there. Pretty simple. Now, there are some other things that you'll see here in the time card, or in the employee access. One of the things I like to give my employees the ability to do is over here in the little My Screen section. I actually give them the ability to come in here and request time off by hitting this link up top. It then pulls open a calendar where you can see some existing requests in there. If we needed to put another one in, it's very, very simple to do. You just hit request time off. It then pulls open a calendar where you can see some existing requests in there. If we needed to put another request in, it's very simple. We just go ahead and put in whatever date or date range you'd like to have time off in. It auto-selects the day or days within that date range. Defaults to 8 hours per day. You can actually adjust that default as well as have the employee adjust it to more or less depending on what's needed there. Once that's filled out, though, we can actually have them come over here and select an absence policy. And this is a completely customizable list. You put whatever you'd like in there, but let's say that they wanted to take vacation. Well, we can tell the employee exactly how much vacation time they have available so they know whether or not they can have that time off or not. There's even an option for them to go in and send out an email to a supervisor or administrator letting them know they've requested that leave time and they'd like it approved or denied. There's even this little note section here where you can go in and have them put in as why they want that time off if you'd like. But either way, once they've gone in and adjusted that or put that in there, it's pretty simple. You just have them hit create, and it throws that in and puts a little blue box in on the calendar. And the blue box is showing pending request. Of course, once the supervisor or manager has approved or denied it, it's going to show up red for denied or green for approved over here. Also, if you notice down here on the legend, any upcoming holidays would show up in a little gray box. You can see everything that's happening there, which is great. Now, other than the basic, in and out functionality and requesting leave for employees, at least as a default from the software, it's really just more or less viewing information that we give them. So you can actually have them come to the reporting section and print out a paper copy of their time card. We can also view information information we have for them in the system, so name, address, email, phone number, that kind of fun stuff there. Really up to you on that. You can check their schedule, view accrual balances, really pretty basic functionality as far as the employee is concerned. But really that's about it from the employee end of things, so go ahead, and if you do have any other questions on the employee end of the software or how employees can punch in and out from the software, go ahead and type those questions into that gray GoToMeeting panel on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll get those questions answered for you.
Tina, can I introduce you to one of the reps that usually she comes and she would talk to Grace?
Oh, thanks for the.
Okay, the only thing is though is I'm recording this Time Force thing, so can you get her card and maybe I can maybe call her and maybe another time?
Okay.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like we have any questions coming in on the employee end of the software, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get away from this here, and I'm actually going to log in as my administrator. And as I go in and log in as my administrator here, you'll notice we're actually looking at that same employee, Doug's time card, when I first pull it up. And the reason we get Doug showing up here is because he's first in alphabetical order. You do see everyone in the company as the administrator. You could also have a supervisor or manager have access, but restrict them down to see just their people and not the entire company. Completely up to you on that. But you'll notice where all those punches would go throughout the pay period here, where all their hours would accumulate, where all their hours would accumulate there. See a schedule if you're scheduling them. You see a little verification section there at the bottom as well. You'll notice as well up top that everything's highlighting as I scroll over it, and that's because I actually have editing rights on the time card as the administrator. So if I ever needed to go in and adjust or change something, or maybe put in a punch for somebody who's forgot to punch in or out, it's pretty simple to do. I just click on it, box over to change, or punch over to change rather, or in any open box where maybe they missed something or forgot to do something. So let's say they forgot to punch back in from lunch and they got back around 1 o'clock. I can put that in there in a 12 or 24-hour format, and all I need to do is hit either enter on my keyboard or the create button over here on the right. And what it's going to do is it's going to take that punch and throw it in on the day I selected. And notice it puts this solid bullet to the right there. And what that's doing is it's letting me know that punch was manually created. So in other words, it did not come from an employee punching in around. It came from someone who had editing rights, and it was manually typed in there. There are some other things for you there. For instance, you'll see a couple of little asterisks. Those are actually flagging those punches to be changed or edited somehow. If you wanted to see what was going on with that, we just clicked on the date. It actually pulled open an audit log where you can see who put that punch in. How it was entered, when it was entered, and even the IP address that continued that they made the change for, which is great. Another thing you'll notice down below here, the old punch or what was there beforehand, and if we ever needed to revert back to that, it's pretty simple. You just deactivate the current punch, activate the old one, and you go right back to where you were. Now, some other things we have for you here, these little red letters that are showing there at the bottom of the time card, those are what we call punch errors. And they're there to alert you on a couple different things. Maybe you had somebody come in late, or someone left early, or you had somebody work too many or too few hours on the day, or they missed a punch, or something along those lines. Really up to you what you get alerted on and what you don't in there. Also, if there are anything that you like to keep a bit of a closer eye on, we can actually get automated emails on them. They don't have to stop all the time. Just let you have now, other things, you get away from the time card and get over here to the little My screen section. This is where we can actually go in and get some really good real-time reporting as far as what's going on with your employees. For instance, right up top here, we have this Who's In report, and what that is a list of all the people scheduled for the day and whether they're in, out, absent, scheduled absent, whatever the case may be there. It'll even show you the last time they punched, if they punched in or out for the day, and if they were scheduled absent, I'm going to show you the absence policy that you see taking the day off. So you really get to see everything that's happening, which is great. Another thing you'll notice here off to the right here, the error monitoring tab, and what that is a list of all those little punch errors populating on the time card, so that way if you're having some of those things show up but you're not getting emails on them, rather than poking through all the time cards one by one, we can go right there, click on that employee's name, and be routed to the time card where the error is populating. Below that, you see an upcoming events tab. That's the place where you can go in and set up alerts on employee information. So if you have somebody maybe with a birthday or work anniversary or a review or something like that, we can actually alert you on that in here, so you can make sure to follow up on that. There's also down a little lower here this approaching threshold tab. What this is for is it's a place where you can actually go in and set up an hour threshold, and then as soon as you have an employee hit that number of hours or more, their name and exact number of hours worked will show in there for you. So you can look at that towards the end of the week or at different times throughout the week and get a list of people you may want to send home a bit early so that they're not going to hit overtime there. A little lower here, the time off request section is a place where we can really quickly approve or deny leave requests. We even have an APRA summary down here at the bottom where you can go in and really quickly with a checkbox approve or deny little time cards for you if you need. Other things with this My Screen, we call it My Screen because it's all user customizable. So anyone you want to give access to the software can go in and pick and choose exactly which reports will show up in their My Screen, which ones won't, how they show up, where they show up. The amount of information in those reports will be determined by the amount of access they're given to the system. So be aware of that. Now there are other reporting options. They're all going to be over here in your reports tab. Quite a few options here. Here as well, you can pick and choose which ones show, which reports show up, which ones don't. How and where they show up, that kind of fun stuff there. Really up to you on that. But these reports really will function all about the same. The big difference is just the type of information contained in the report. So to show you something fairly commonly used, let me run this hour summary. It's pretty simple the way it works. You just go in here and specify whatever date or date range you want to run this for. Maybe something custom. You can go ahead and type it in there. There are set date ranges as well. And with set date ranges, there are little toggle buttons to be a bit more specific if you want. But I'm going to run this report, and I'm going to have it sorted for me by employee, and then by the department that employee worked in, and sort that out really however you'd like. Just know whatever you choose for that first category there, it's always going to group things together and total it for you. So you have a total by employee, but hour summary. So it'll break down all the hours over the date range we selected up top, show us all the regular time, overtime, holiday hours, total for the employee, because again, there's that first sort option here. And then, of course, I do have a grand total at the bottom of the report. Now, we can be a bit more specific with what we wanted to see here on the report. We can actually come in and filter things down. Maybe we run this report for just one specific employee or a group of employees, or maybe there's a certain department or location or any combination of the two if you want. We can be really specific and see exactly who we want to see if you need. There's even options to come in here, and in this case, this being an hours-based report, we can pick and choose which hour types or pay codes will populate on our report. So again, you're seeing exactly what you want to see and none that you don't. Other things to all of our reports, we can have them saved as an Excel file or a PDF or printed out on paper, just like they populate here. And if you're selecting any of the filters up top here on a regular basis, if you hit this Create Favorite button, what it's going to do is it's going to take that report and it's going to save it for you here in this little favorites box, so it's only one click away instead of 5 or 6. It really helps speed that reporting process up for you there. Now, some other things we have for you. This little close pay period tab, this is where we can go to get everything sent out to a payroll software if you like, and it's pretty simple the way that would work. Just go in, hit your close pay period button, select your pay period and date range, hit begin, and it's going to roll you through some steps. You get to pick whatever steps you want to go through, but really the biggest step to take into account is that last one there that says export to payroll, and that's where we will more often than not generate a file that you can open up in your payroll software that will take all the hours information from Time Force and auto-populate it into that payroll software. And I didn't say more often than not because if you are actually using QuickBooks, or if you're using our payroll software, which is called iSolve, rather than generating a file to be uploaded, you'd either use a QuickBooks plugin that would be actually installed into your QuickBooks software, or you would have a button show up for you right here that said send to iSolve, at which point you'd either click a button in that plugin or click the send to iSolve button, and those hours would auto-populate in that particular piece of software. Pretty simple there. We do work with just about everybody under the sun, though, so if there's something specific you need, just let us know, and we can either adjust an existing template that we've already created, or even custom create something for maybe a payroll system you haven't worked with, and make sure that we can get those hours out to your payroll software there. Now, next little section you'll see, the employee tab, is where all of your employee information would be stored, and there are a lot of options here for employee information, but all we really need to make the system run is just a first name, a last name, and an employee ID number. Above and beyond that, you can use as much or as little of the information here that you want, but be aware we can import this information in from an existing database or spreadsheet if you need to. Also, as you first get started, our implementation technicians will actually be doing all the original configuration. Now, there are some other things here in the employee tab that a lot of people like to use. For instance, this little HR section here is a place where you can go in and track things like incidents that may have occurred with an employee, or reviews, and be alerted when it's time to redo those reviews. We can also track any educational experience employees may have, or alert you on expiring certifications or certificates or something like that. I mean, there's really quite a few neat little options in here for you to get anything tracked you may need. Be aware as well, all these little drop-down menus in here to select what's going on are completely customizable, so you can put whatever you like in there. Don't feel like you're stuck with our defaults. Also, there is the ability to attach documents to some of these, so you can maybe track a little bit more information, or maybe attach a disciplinary document or something like along those lines. Now, your next little section here, your schedule tab, this is where you can go to schedule your employees if you choose to do so. Not required by any means to schedule your employees. It is, however, how we get those early and late type errors, though. So if you like those types of things to populate, make sure we do have the schedule for you. But we can do anything from you using our spreadsheet scheduler to grab any week and any number of employees you want to, and go in there and maybe manually build out a schedule for you there. You can do splits, multiples in a day, get anything squared away, take care of however you need on that end. You can also build out set shifts if it's something a bit more predictable than that, or if it was something very predictable. Maybe you had some office employees that worked Monday to Friday 8 to 5, or some people that work some type of shift rotation that's always the same. What we can do with those types of employees is build their schedule out as a template, and then take that template and apply it to a group of employees. They'll automatically rotate through that over and over and over again until you tell them to stop. That way you're not going to be in there scheduling them all the time. You can just have the system automate it for you. Now, your clocks tab here, this is pretty simple. It's just where you set up or have our implementation technicians set up and configure your time clocks originally. Above and beyond that, you wouldn't really be using them. So with that, I'm going to just kind of jump by that and get over here into the admin tab. And this is really what sets the system up to run the way you want it to. There's a lot of different options here, a lot of things to look at, but all we really need to make the system run is a pay period. Above and beyond that, you use as much or as little of the information there that you'd like. But there are some other neat little things that we can do for you in here. Maybe track things like holidays. If you are having holiday hours auto-generate for your employees, or if you're awarding them a different rate for working on a holiday, we can have that all tracked. We can even have the holidays automate for you, even days like Thanksgiving Day or President's Day, where those dates change. But with Thanksgiving Day, it's always that fourth Thursday of November. We'll find it for you every single time with that, so you're not moving it around all the time there. There's also options. We can go in and track any different pay rules or pay options or overtime codes you may need to get those tracked automatically, so you're not doing any manual calculations. There's even options to come in and track leave time for your employees. As many options for that as you want. Award people more or less time depending on how long they've been with the company. Even max it out, carry it to the next year, award as much or as little as you like to, however often you'd like. Really, the sky's the limit with the way the system's designed. We can really set up just about anything you need when it comes to that. But really, I've kind of covered a good basic overview, or I guess, a good 30,000-foot overview of the system there. So that being said, if there are any questions you had on anything you saw or were planning on doing that maybe I haven't covered, go ahead and throw any questions you may have in on that gray GoToMeeting panel on the right-hand side of your screen in the chat section, and I'll get those questions answered for you. I'll give you a few minutes to ask questions here. Like we have any questions coming in here. So that being said, I do want to say I do appreciate everyone's time coming out and joining our webinar here today. What will happen at this point is if you have not already been contacted by one of our account representatives, one will probably be getting a hold of you shortly here. They will be able to touch base with you on a little bit on a little more specifically on what you guys are looking for out of a time and attendance software, maybe get you some pricing, answer a few more of your questions or anything like that. If you would like to get a hold of us, or if you want to be contacted sooner rather than later, feel free to give us a call. Our number here is right on top of our website. It's at 1-800-733-8839. Feel free to give us a call. We're all more than happy to answer any questions or help you out with anything you may need there. Other than that, again, I do appreciate your time and allowing me to run you through the software and showing you what we have to offer here with our time and attendance software. And please don't hesitate to give us a call if you do have any other questions. Want to take a more personalized look at the software, more than happy to do that for you as well. Other than that, hope all is well. Hope everyone has a great day. Hope to hear from you guys soon.